Good morning, everyone. I am going to give you a little tutorial of how I do the pickleball ladder. That way, I would like everyone to better understand how you go up, how you go down. Um, it can be pretty confusing if you don't see how it works. So I figure for this week, I would do a quick tutorial. So at the top, we always start with group one. In group one this week, we had Justin, Barry, Celeste, and Wes. So what I do is I take them, drag them all to the side, and put them there. Now Gino was absent, noted by this yellow highlighted box there. So what we do, Gino dropped to one spot, and then I bold him. Now when I bold him, that means that I've already dropped him. So depending on where everyone else fits, that is Gino's spot. Okay, he's enabled to stay in that spot. So in this week, I finished first, so I go right back to that spot. Wes finished second, so I drag him to that spot. And Celeste finished third, so I take her there. Okay? So now group one, assuming there's no absences next week, as of right now, would be Justin, Wes, Celeste, and Gino. Okay? But that's going to change, and I'll show you why. So group two this week was Eric, John, Bobby, and Elaine. So I'll drag them out. Casey was not here, denoted by the highlight there. So I drag her down, and I bold her. So that means that is her spot. She can't move. So it looks like Bobby won this group. So Bobby gets to move up to the first open spot. And then now Barry goes right underneath him. So the winner of the group below goes above the loser. Okay, so there's a little swap there. Casey gets to hold her spot. In second place in that group was Elaine. And third in that group was John. Okay? So we'll leave Eric Vigers there because he's going to move down this week. And we'll go to group three, which was Eric, Suzanne, Rocco, and Ron. You'll notice Ron is highlighted because he missed last week. Okay, so that was a reminder for me to not move him down from last week. So I will unbold him because he was there this week. So Maria missed again, so we'll drop her one more spot and bold her so she stays in that spot no matter what. So now we take the winner, which was Eric Tootin, and move him up to the first open spot. And we take Eric Vigris, fourth place from group two, and move him to the next one. Okay? Maria gets to keep her spot. Ron Moose came in second in that group, so he goes to the next open spot. And Suzanne came in third, so she goes to the next open spot. Okay? Rocco was last in that group this week, so he's going to move down, depending on what's going on for the next group. Group four was Denny, Bob, Steve, and Gary. Steve was there, so let's unbold him. And we're going to pull them all out. And it looks like Bob Kaufman won that group this week. So now he moves up to the first open slot. And the loser from the higher group moves right underneath him. Denny Milky finished second in that group. So we slide him in. And Gary Tipton finished third. So we slide him in. Okay, we'll keep Steve there because he'll move down to the next spot. So for group five, we had Randy Silverman, Dave Hoyt, Joe Lutz, and Paula. So Randy missed last week. Joe missed last week, so we'll unhighlight them. And we'll pull them all out. And it looks like Joe won this group. So Joe moves up to that first open slot, and we take Steve, the loser from the higher group, and put him right underneath. Randy came second in this group, so he goes to the next open spot. And Paula came in third, so she goes to the next open spot. We'll keep Dave there, because he'll swap with someone from group 6. Tony Salippo was not here. This gentleman, Tony, is going to start. This is his starting spot, so I'm not going to drop him again, because that's about the spot that he belongs. So we're going to keep him there because he hasn't actually played yet. But the rest of the group is Toby, Diane, Ann, and Bruce. Okay. So what's going to happen is Bill Adams wasn't here. We drop him just one. Okay. So it looks like Bruce won this group. Okay. So you'll see here, this is a perfect example of a big jump and also a big drop, because Bruce was the last person in this group. He was ranked 4th, but he won his group. So he's going to jump everyone in his group, and it'll end up being a significant jump. Okay. And Kobe, I apologize for using your name here, but Kobe's going to have a big drop because he was first in the group to start tonight. You'll see he was at the top of the ladder, and he finished 4th. So he's going to have a significant drop this week. Okay, so that's how it works. Dave Hoyt from the upper group, we now need to insert in. Tony keeps his spot. Now Bill keeps his spot. And Ann came in second, so she gets to go there. Now, actually, Ann and Bruce tied. They both had 2 wins, and they both had 44 points. But the way we do it is the lower-seeded person wins the tiebreaker. The reason we do it that way is to create movement in the ladder. So the people at the top aren't continuously staying at the top. We would like to create some up and down in order to keep it from getting stale. So that's why Bruce won the tiebreaker. Ended up being a big tiebreaker, 1 point. And Ann would have been up here where Bruce is, but instead, with the tiebreak, she's down here. And that happens because of Bill Adams' absence, Tony Salippo's absence, and then bringing Dave down from group 5. Diane came in third in this group, so she goes to the next open spot, and we keep Kobe over there till we bring the winner from the next group up. Next group was Robert, Renee, Gary, and Judy. So we'll pull these 2 out. Pull these 2 out. Ralph was not here, so he dropped 1 spot, and then I bold him so he doesn't move anymore. Robert won this group, so he goes to the top spot, and Kobe goes right underneath him. It looks like Gary Jergler came in second, so he goes to the next open spot. And Judy Jones came in third, so she goes to that open spot. We'll keep Renee on the side, because she'll switch with someone from Group 8. Now, Groups 8 and 9, we had groups of 5. So these get a little bit tricky because most of the time for groups of 5, I move 1 and 2 up, and I move 4 and 5 down. But I also do a little bit of subjectivity here, depending on what the game scores are. So I'll show you that in Group 9 here. So we had some really close games. So for Group 5, it looks like Delta finished first. Let's unbold her. Okay, we're going to pull them out first. It was Lyle, Delta, Doug, Bill, and Mariana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So Delta finished first, so she goes to the highest open spot. Bill finished second, so he gets to move up as well in a group of 5. and then Renee will fall in right underneath them. Okay, so the group of 5 creates a little more movement. Mariana finished 3rd, and we had Lyle and Doug 4 and 5. So they're going to stay over there because they're both going to move down this week. Okay, and for group 9, we had John and Aaron, Sheila, Diane, and we added a new player named Fred. And Fred, if you're watching, I apologize. I didn't get your last name, so I'm just going to put Fred in there. So in this group, we had a tight group. So John Rand had 3 wins, Aaron had 2 wins, Diane had 2 wins, and Fred had 2 wins. So there's actually a 3-way tie for second place. So Aaron had 36 points and 2 wins. Diane had 37 points and 2 wins, and Fred had 36 points and 2 wins. So technically, Aaron would have finished 4th in this group because of the tiebreaker with Fred. Fred's the lower seed down here. But since it was such a close group, I'm not going to drop Aaron down because it was too close of a group. So I don't feel she deserves to be dropped down 5, 6, 7 spots when it was such a close group. So at the end there was a little bit of judgment on my part. So John won the group, so we move him up. Diane won the tiebreaker because she had 37 points. The other 2 players, Fred and Aaron, both had 36. So Diane does win, or come in second, so she gets to move up. Now, we bring 4 and 5, which is Lyle and Doug, down from the next group. They fill in those spots, okay? Lou and Bob weren't here, so we dropped them a spot. Roland was not here, so he dropped 1 spot. And none of these players were here, so I'll highlight them all. So now, Fred came in 3rd place. He's got no numbers because that was his first week, so I'll put him there. He actually ended up being 52 then. So started him under Greg. Whoops, put him in the wrong spot up here. And then Aaron goes to the next open spot. Okay. Now all of these people, since they were all absent and we don't have a spot for Sheila, they all move down. And Sheila slides in right there. Okay? So that's how we create the ladder. And then what I do at the end, I'll put next week's date up here and then go right down the list and give everyone their number. Okay, so there's our list. So you'll see there's a couple big jumps and a couple big drops that I'll explain. But pretty much, unless no one leaves or joins the ladder, the people who missed, you'll see all drop 1 spot. 3 to 4, 6 to 7, 11 to 12. Tony did not drop because he has not started yet. Bill Adams, 25 to 26, 32 to 33. Okay. And these are a little bit different because we added Fred in. Okay. So, Fred actually ended up with a big jump last week. He started down here at 52, and he was playing with people up here that were in the mid-40s. And he finished 2nd in that group, or 3rd in that group. So in reality, he jumped all of these people that were absent, and then because he won the tiebreaker with Aaron, he jumps Aaron. He beat Sheila, and he also jumps these two that were absent because that was the open spot, was right there. So that's why Fred ends up getting a big jump that week. Same thing with Diane Coral. Diane started at 46. She was ranked 4th in her group of 5 and finished 2nd. So she's going to jump Doug and Lyle, who finished in the bottom 2 of their group. And she's going to jump some of these people that were absent as well. Okay, so there's a couple big jumps there. As I look through the list, Renee had a decent drop there. Looking at Renee's group, she was ranked 2nd. So the 2 people below her jump her, and then also the winner from the next group. And then with Ralph's absence, that throws another wrench into things because he gets to keep his spot. He drops 1. So that's generally how the ladder works. Last but not least, what I do is I highlight the group winners. I don't need to highlight myself. But once somewhat towards the top of the ladder, we've gotten stale because a lot of times if someone's absent, this is a perfect week. If Gino's absent, when he comes back, Bobby doesn't technically get to play in Group 1, even though he won Group 2 this week, which doesn't seem really fair. So what I do is I highlight Bobby in blue because he won his group. I will highlight Eric Tootin in blue because he won his group. And I will highlight Bob Kaufman in blue because he won his group. So I do it with about the first 4 groups. It's tough to do after that because you get so many absences that you'll have people jumping, 8, 10, 12 spots to play in the next group, depending on who's absent. So after the first 4 groups, if you win, you automatically get to play in the group above. So although Bobby is ranked underneath Gino, he's 5th compared to Gino's 4th, Bobby is going to play in Group 1 next week, okay? But on the rankings, I keep him at 5 in case someone's going to be absent. So hypothetically, let's say Wes is not going to be here next week. Now, all of a sudden, Bobby is in Group 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's still ranked below Gino, but he does get to play. So I wait until I see what the absences are first. So that's kind of how it works. So the same thing for Eric Tootin. He's technically ranked 10th right now, but he will get to play in Group 2 next week. So if there's less than 2 people absent, he will potentially jump John Sereno and potentially jump Elaine. Again, all depending on who's absent. Now, I know Barry's not going to be here already, so I'll mark him. So at this point, Eric's going to for sure jump John Sereno to play in Group 2, and Elaine is going to be hoping that one more person misses, because if not, Eric will jump her as well and get to play in Group 2. Same thing goes for Bob Kaufman. He will get to play in Group 3 regardless, which is technically spot number 12, right there. So that's how the top works as well. So people can play in groups if they get to win their group. So I hope that was informative for everyone. I'm going to save this and send it out, and also send out the video. And if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Thank you, everyone. Have a great weekend.